Well, guys, I had the end of this video all put together. After me jabbering for quite some time, I realized we weren't videoing. Anyway, we got that scraper done. We got a couple 9.5 L15s that we need to find. We've got some around here, get some swapped out. We got one throwing the tread. The rest of them, I think, just need some attention, not holding air. Anyway, I was going to visit with you real quickly on the farm package. I don't like to call it farm aid, but I guess that's exactly what it is. I'm pretty torn on it. I've watched a couple farmers on YouTube. Brian's farm videos, I call anybody out. He's absolutely not for any farm aid, and I get it. I've always said take it away from everybody. But in my opinion, the problem is the big guys are going to get a substantial amount more, obviously, because they have more acres. We've got guys that don't tear the plastic off their seat on a combine or tractor because they're going to have another new one before they do that. Do those guys need financial aid? That's your call. Like I said, he's absolutely not for it. I understand where he's coming from, but he's also multi-generational there with stuff handed down and his dad's still helping him. And I'm not calling him out. He's very much open to his opinion. I mean, that's his opinion, and that's fine. But anyway, I don't understand that side exactly. Now, I'll go the other side. You got one lonely farmer that, he says if without this, that all hell's going to break loose. Well, I don't see that either. I'm going to throw quick numbers. This is not our exact numbers by any means, but let's just do 100,000 bushel of corn for this farm. It was $2 cheaper this year when we sold than last year. Well, that's $200,000. That's sure profit. That's right off the top. That $200,000 changes our farm. It allows us to do a lot of things that we couldn't do. Did we make it this year? Absolutely. Did we have a little money in the bank when we were done? Absolutely. Did we get all of our bills paid, everything? Absolutely. Running old paid for equipment, that's how we did it, and that's why we do it. So when times like this come along, we're not rattled. We're not knocked off the totem pole. I question that, like the car manufacturers years ago were bailed out and the banks were bailed out. It's a little different. They can control a lot more of their business. Maybe not all of it, but a lot more of it. So bad decisions, we bailed them out. Some of these farmers that think that this is going to save everything, it's not. There's just not that much money there. We're looking at a tiny fraction of the money that we did not get on corn price alone, let alone bean, wheat, that type of deal. So I don't see that this money is gonna change anything. They say there's a lot of farmers that can't get operating loans. If they can't get an operating loan, I don't think that this tiny fraction of lost revenue is going to change that. Did guys overextend themselves, running equipment they shouldn't be running? Maybe, I don't know. This money is not going to do that. This money is not, in my opinion, even a good Band-Aid. I mean, it's not going to allow them to even pay some bills that they didn't pay so that they can get an operating loan and go again. There's a reason they can't get an operating loan. And this was through Farm Credit Services, I believe, were saying, if they didn't get this money, they were in trouble because the farmers were in trouble. Well, I don't know. We do things a little different. Older equipment, we don't have to show off. We don't care. I mean, yes, we want to have nice equipment. Yes, we want to have equipment that's respectable when we go to the field. We don't want people pointing and laughing, and that's not the case. Our equipment is older, but we keep it up. All of it we try to keep up. So anyway, I guess that's my thoughts on the 10 billion. I'm really torn either way. There's not enough money there that's going to change anything for us. Might get some fertilizer on. We won't be putting on an operating loan we would be able to pay for, but that doesn't change anything. I mean, in the grand scheme of it, it saves you a little interest, I guess. Also, 21 billion in disaster relief, I believe. That was money for the hurricane victims all up on the East Coast, and it was also for 23-24 drought, which down here in southern Kansas, we've had drought the last 3 years, bad. We've snuck a couple corn crops through the drought. My dog's getting after a cat. Anyway, we've snuck a couple corn crops through the drought. They just hit right, and we raised mediocre, some good corn. But our wheat and beans absolutely nothing the last 3 years. 3 years ago, we baled and swapped them all. You can look at those videos. Last year was not good. This year was terrible. Wheat last year was terrible because of thin stand in the weeds. That's also in some videos. This year, hit and miss on the wheat. We had some wheat that was decent and nothing great. But anyway, what I'm getting at is in this part of the state, we've been in a drought for a long time. So 23, 24, I don't know what their plan is. I don't know what their dollar figure is. But I mean, I could get more help through the drought relief, I believe, than this $10 billion direct payment. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I kind of believe in the fittest survive, but I also don't want the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer, and everybody in the middle is just happy to live and have food on the table. Anyway, fellas, that was just what I wanted to say. I just give you my 2 cents. You can take it or leave it. I'd like to hear some comments from some guys that actually have some opinion, not uneducated nonsense, but somebody that has an opinion, either has farmed or is farming. I'd really like to know what you guys think. We'll holler at you later.